In today's business and financial news, let's discuss a topic that's been trending over the last week, the demonetization of the podcast Fresh and Fit. So a variety of creators and observers on YouTube have presented their perspective concerning this demonetization, and many of those have been male, and that makes sense because that is the target audience of the Fresh and Fit podcast. I thought it would be interesting to hear a female perspective of this demonetization.
Happy Monday. Did you hear the good news?
The channel has been kicked off the YouTube partner program. Even where we shoot the location doesn't want us to stay here. Yeah.
Go home, Roger. That's not gonna work this time, twins.
Saving children, right? That was great. But saving you guys is better.
To think that they're getting emotional over a podcast where they compared women to keyholes. Literally in this farewell video, they're like, men DM us all the time, like, you saved my life. My girl makes sandwiches now. I'm supposed to have sympathy because YouTube doesn't want to sponsor you. The place you're filming doesn't like you. And you can't even keep your show going off of sponsorships because it's actually a little weird for them to be ending it just because of the YouTube partner program. Like, if they wanted to sustain it, they could. They're not saying that YouTube kicked them off YouTube. They're saying they're not going to make money from it anymore. And so they're stopping it because they're not making money from YouTube anymore because nobody else will sponsor them or give them money. And you're really crying about it. You're really crying about it. Saying this is more valid than saving children. When did he save a child? I feel, where's that child now? Anyway, I hope you laughed when he ran off in his little shorts.
Coming from someone who was dumb enough to go on that show, I am not surprised. First of all, they can still do YouTube videos. They're just not getting paid for it. And I remember telling people, I was like, they really don't care about you guys. They just care about how much money they're making. It's all a big persona. Like, once the cameras are off, they're different people. But yeah, hate on me for going on that show because what an idiot.
Y'all, 2023 is such a crazy year because not only did Fresh and Fit podcast get demonetized on YouTube, but also I got this article from Media Takeout, and yeah, I fact checked it. It's accurate.
Man, we got a very important announcement for you guys.
It won't be the same, bro.
Yeah. The channel has been kicked off the YouTube partner program. Just keep it straight with
If you
y'all.
look right now, you can't even super chat or
You can't even
remember.
super chat right
Good.
Yep. So this is the beginning of the end of this era.
We're working with YouTube to try to come to a middle ground and, work together and figure this out. But for now,
We don't even know why.
We don't know the specific reason. When you guys send me your DMs and say, yo, you saved my life.
No
Yo,
one
you sent me a
sends
picture of
stuff
credit
to
score.
them like that.
Yo,
Don't even listen to them.
My girl is making sandwiches now, or whatever it is, right? We've helped a lot of you guys from killing yourselves, from making a really bad decision. What I'm asking you guys is, just like we've saved you guys, we need you guys to save us.
Now, I highly doubt anybody is writing them emails saying that you made my girlfriend make a sandwich. But if you actually read through the community guidelines on YouTube, they have violated those community guidelines numerous amount of times. That includes the promotion of the attacks on women. Okay, and I'm not even going to go into the details. You know exactly what it is that they talk about. Now, Media Takeout reports that the host broke the news on their podcast yesterday and warned their fans that they had planned to shut things down shortly. Now, the podcast has become a subject of controversy in the past due to comments made by Weeks and Gaines, most notably during their viral conversation with Instagram model Brittany Rayner earlier this year, where they made alleged misogynistic comments towards her. Now, earlier this year, which I didn't know, the podcast was demonetized for about 7 days from YouTube, and they stated that YouTube had warned them if they continued to make content like that they would be banned. I need men to do this, because if men are listening to this podcast, the only thing that you need to do is not listen to them. And there's a multitude of reasons as to why. The first being that these men don't actually give you relationship advice. The mass majority of men who watch their content are probably single. So the only advice that they should be giving you is dating advice. And not in the sense of how to treat the woman after you get her, but how to actually get the woman. See, Fresh and Fit podcast never actually teaches men the art of dating, the art of courting women or getting women. They only give you the aftermath of once you obtain the woman and what to do with her then. So instead of sitting around listening to people like this who have no proximity to women or probably haven't touched a woman in years, what men actually need to do is get off the internet and go out to bars and commingle with women.
The channel has been kicked off the YouTube partner program. Just keep it straight with you.
If this isn't enough proof that these podcast bros do not care about you guys, I don't know what is. See, if I had a podcast where it was my mission to help men find better partners and be in better relationships, I would want to continue that podcast even if I wasn't making any money off of it. But YouTube didn't say they had to take down the podcast. YouTube just said, you can't make any more money from this podcast with our partner program. And then they decided that they wanted to shut down the podcast. Why? See, they don't actually care about your opinion. They don't care if you agree with them or not. They don't care if you're in a good relationship. They don't care if you have success in any sort of way in your life. All they care about is your views, because when they have your views, they get paid. And if they have your views, but they're not getting paid, then your view means nothing to them. I need you guys to understand that these angry podcast bros are very smart businessmen. They know how to get rich off of your misogyny, off of your anger, off of your attention, but they do not actually want to help you in any sort of capacity. Because if they did, they would continue the podcast despite not being able to make any money off of it. Misogyny is a get-rich-quick scheme. These podcast bros are very brilliant businessmen. They do not care about you. You've been bamboozled, you've been hoodwinked, you've been tricked, you've been scammed. It's okay. Go outside, touch some grass, maybe have a conversation with a real woman outside of a comment section on the internet, and get over it.
I shouldn't be standing with a heart that's so heavy. I shouldn't be up with all the weight that I carry. I shouldn't be standing with a heart that's so heavy. I shouldn't be up with all the weight that I carry.
The channel has been kicked off the YouTube partner program. Even where we shoot the location doesn't want us to stay here. There is a matrix, man. Like, people don't want you guys to get this.
Nature is healing. The podcast bros are getting knocked out one by one. Listen, I'm not usually one to prey on anybody's downfall, but when your entire career is built off of disrespecting and objectifying women, inviting guests on your show who you know are going to have a different opinion than you, having a fucking tantrum when they do, then kicking them off, and then teaching an entire generation of young men that this is normal, acceptable behavior. Good riddance. Matrix is real. I don't think its purpose is stopping incels from sharing the worst takes humanly possible, from reaching the masses. But shout out to YouTube for doing that. Last year I made a video saying if he tried crying beside the coochie meow meow, maybe he could finally experience what it's like to get one wet. I feel like he finally took my advice.
Right? That was great.
Boo-hoo. Bye!
He gonna cry in the car.
The channel has been kicked off the YouTube partner program. When you guys send me your DMs and say, yo, you saved my life. Yo, you sent me a picture of your credit score. Yo, my girl is making sandwiches now. We've helped a lot of you guys from yourselves.
Fresh and Fit, you guys saved my life. Yo, you changed my entire life.
Even where we shoot the location doesn't want us to stay here. There is a matrix, man. Like, people don't want you guys to get this message. I love doing this. I'd be lying to you guys if I didn't say I didn't love doing this. I left a job that I truly loved to do this. Saving children, right? That was great. But saving you guys is better.
These manosphere guys like Fresh and Fit are using every single cult leader tactic in the handbook in order to literally farm emotionally vulnerable young men for profit and to profit off of violence against women. And I'm so serious when I say that. Every single thing in this video set off these crazy alarm bells in my head of stuff I've seen before, because I'm a cult survivor and I've studied tons of cults, and what they do here I've seen over and over and over in cult leaders. In this video, whenever cult leaders have to face consequences for their actions, they frame it as persecution. Persecution for just trying to help, for doing the right thing, for getting the good word out there. They get that us versus them mentality going of, they don't want you to hear this. They're out to hurt you. They're out to take advantage of you, but I'll save you. They're claiming to have all these answers for all these troubled people's lives. And then also they lay on the guilt. I've given up so much. I've sacrificed so much in order just to help you. The more you study into these manosphere guys, the more you'll see the similarities between them and cults. Cults literally target vulnerable people in a vulnerable state, and that is exactly who people like Fresh and Fit are after. They'll flat out say it. Their demographic is vulnerable young men who are troubled. Cults are very often patriarchal as a way to control people's behaviors, and that is what they're banking on. So when I say things like not all cults are religious, this is what I'm talking about. These people are just farming young men right under our noses, and we should continue to try to deplatform them in every way possible.